Welcome back to Cloud 2K. Today I'm doing an article reaction ranking the NBA's best big three so far in the 2024-2025 NBA season. Now, I did a video like this on my Cloud Report last week where I did a trade by every NBA team for this kind of deadline, and it was from Bleacher Report. And it was an interesting article. They had some good trades. They had some bad trades. And I'm here on my computer today. As you can see, I can move myself all around the screen. Made the joke before, but I mentioned in my Cloud Report that came out yesterday, as you're seeing this, my editor is on vacation this week. Hope you're having a good time visiting family for the holidays. So I'm doing some different things. I'm not doing any gaming videos this week, I don't think. I think I'm going to do some reactions of things, get my real takes on the channel some more. Maybe you guys will like that. Maybe you guys won't like that. I guess there's really only one way to find out. But today we're doing ranking the NBA's best big threes. And I am curious because there's been a lot of big threes that have had some injuries so far, so I'm curious to see what the requirements are for getting into this. I haven't looked at this article at all. This is November 23rd. I'm recording this on the 24th, so it came out yesterday. You're seeing this on the 25th. So 2 days ago from when this came out is when you guys are going to see it. You guys probably have already seen this article. If you have not, go check out Bleacher Report. They always do some articles. So let's see what they have. Oh, how the NBA's big threes landscape has changed. That's for sure. There's just a lot of stuff in here. Don't really care. We're here for the rankings. The big three criteria qualifications. That's what we were looking for. In order to qualify for big three consideration, triplings must meet one of the following criteria. Number one, big threes must feature 3 all-stars, none of whom have retreated into smaller post-prime roles. I'm trying to think. I guess that would probably be like James. It would have been like James Harden, Kawhi, Paul George, where James Harden is kind of, you know what I mean? I guess is what's that saying. Maybe, I don't know. Number 2, if you have 2 entrenched all-stars, there must be a third player with a clear path to hitting that level this season. So I guess that's I don't know, is it like Shea and Chet, and then J-Dub comes through just because they're up here. That's what I'm thinking they're going to be on there, is what I'm expecting. Number 3, if you only have 1 entrenched all-star, the remaining 2 players must both have the potential to hit that level this season and still be on their rookie scales. This stipulation is meant to give younger cores a chance while weeding out later career assumptions like 2 of Jamal Murray and Gordon Michael Porter Jr. getting their first All-Star nods. Okay. Whatever. Trios must have also played at least 150 minutes together entering games on Thursday, November 21st. This threshold is somewhat arbitrary, but gives us a sample of over 200 3-man combinations. Okay. So yeah, 150 minutes together really does make sense. So there's going to be some teams that are going to definitely not meet that. I wonder if they're going to call that out. Notable exclusions, yeah, this is the number one by far. Oh, okay. Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and Derek Lively / Klay Thompson. Let's just get that out in front of the inevitable. What about Dallas? Inquiries from those determined to feel slighted. Neither Lively nor Thompson reasonably qualifies as a present-day finishing touch to a big three. So I guess they're saying Klay probably hits that smaller post-prime roles. I guess what they're saying. And I guess they're seeing no way that Derek Lively is going to be an all-star. I'm guessing that's what they mean by that, which, I guess makes sense. Memphis Grizzlies, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Ja Morant. Death, taxes, and 2-minute injuries in Memphis. Injuries. Bane, Jackson, and Ja Morant have appeared in just 2 games together for a total of 18 minutes. That can't qualify. They said at least, 150 minutes, I believe. Yeah, 150 minutes. And 18 is not that. Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, and Chris Middleton. Chris just hasn't played at all. Middleton is yet to play this season as he recovers from his dual ankle surgery. No go. Squeezing Brook Lopez in there helps Milwaukee's overall case, but it stretches the boundaries of our criteria. And even if you think it doesn't, their minutes together aren't yet good enough to. What? Usurp? Whatever? Bleacher Report. Who is writing this? Can I see who's writing the article? Because I want to shout them out, of course. Dan Favale, Dan, shout out Dan, using words I've never heard of before. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I've not heard of, what is that? Usurp? Is that a real, I don't even know what that means. New Orleans Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray, and Zion Williamson. Will this group have the juice to party crash discussion? We'll never know so long as injuries continue ripping through dude. Their top 7 guys are just all injured all the time. It's really, really bad down there in New Orleans. Philadelphia 76ers, there we go. Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. This trio came close to topping our preseason rankings, but big threes must actually play together. Be considered. Yeah, they're not playing. They finally played a game together, and then Paul George left in the second or early third quarter because he had his bone bruise. Then Phoenix Suns, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, which sucks because Kevin Durant was really, really good before he got injured. Excluding these 3 rip-offs is difficult, but the tally just 149 tallied just 149 minutes together, and well, rules are rules. They needed 150, they only got 149. That's a bummer. Number 5. I guess with all these guys knocked out, wow, we really are down. The injuries have been a real problem in the NBA this season. Minnesota Timberwolves are number 5. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle. Minutes played 276 and gave us a net rating of 8.9. I mean, sure, I guess if you're excluding a lot of those people, it's been a weird fit between Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, which is something I think a lot of people expected coming into the season. We knew it wasn't going to be the same as it was with Kat and Rudy Gobert as it was with Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. And even Kat and Rudy Gobert took about a season for them to fully kind of figure each other out. Julius Randle's not quite, doesn't have quite the size to be as good of an interior defender that Kat was. Kat has been bad in interior defense. We know that in New York. But, like, he had a bigger body, so he was able to take on the assignment while Rudy Gobert was, like, the help defender on the backside. Now, they don't really have that, so Rudy Gobert's gotten a lot of that matchup. And then Julius Randle's not nearly as good of a three-point shooter. Kat is one of the best big man three-point shooters of all time. Like him or hate him, it's the truth. It really is the truth. And Julius Randle doesn't quite give you that. He had that step-back game-winning three, which I guess technically the NBA called it a travel the day later. But it doesn't matter. It already happened. So, he's a very streaky shooter. When he's on, he's on. But when he's off, he's off. Julius Randle's also a guy that wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I said this yesterday in the Cloud Report because I talked about this team, is that, like, when he's pissed off, he's slouching around. He's not really giving effort. And that's just, it's a weird fit. They're going to be on there because there's a lot of exceptions or, like, people that didn't make it up here. And I think, I don't know, it's a weird team. Let's see what did they give? It does not always look pretty. Minnesota, big three. There's a real push and pull of awkwardness between Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle. Yes, what I just said. Minnesota's making it work anyway. Okay, Anthony Edwards' three-point volume is critical. Yeah, he's down to a 45%. Julius Randle's shooting, or not Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards being a fantastic three-point shooter has really helped this team. He's been able to space out the floor. He's been phenomenal. Better defensive returns are piling in for this trio to boot. Timberwolves are up to the 71st percentile in points allowed per possession when the three together. Head coach Chris Finch is getting better at deciding which levers to pull with supporting cast around them. The crunch time synergy and thermonuclear. This guy's putting some words. Thermonuclear play from Randle and Edwards is currently off the charts. Cutting down turnovers during the minutes would elevate this trio. Cause stocky, dude, can you relax, Dan? That'll fall on Randle and Gobert more than Edwards. Yeah, I mean, Rudy Gobert has stone hands. We know this. He drops passes all the time. Like they had the issue the other night where Rudy Gobert had Scotty Barnes kind of sealed off in the paint, and Julius Randle had Jakob Poeltl up at the top. And Randle's like, or not Randle, Rudy Gobert was like putting his hands up like, hey, give me the ball. And Julius Randle didn't. And Rudy Gobert got pissed off and kind of walked out of the paint, but took too long. So it was a 3-second, and Anthony Edwards came in all pissed off. Like they have a lot to work on right now. But I guess given the people that are out, they're there. And I think it's going to end up working out. Anthony Edwards is one of the better players in the league already. Julius Randle can be good. I don't know. Did they figure it out? I don't know. OG or honorable mentions. OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, and Cat, so they did not make it. Good to know. Sacramento Kings. Yeah, okay. Okay, DeMar DeRozan, De'Aaron Fox, and Domantas Sabonis minutes played 259, net rating 11.2. I'll be honest, I've not watched a lot of Kings this season. They are usually the late game, the 10:30 game, and I'll be completely transparent. I still work a day job, and I'm on the East Coast, so games starting at 10:30, I can't. I have to get up early for work. I can't. So I've missed a lot of Kings games. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an authority on the Kings. From what I've seen of them, their offensive rating has been pretty good, and the defense has been a lot better than I think a lot of people expected. The Kings haven't really been a defensive team. De'Aaron Fox isn't a great defender. Domantas Sabonis being the anchor of your defense is never going to be great. And then bringing in a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who's more of an ISO scorer, mid-range scorer than he is a defender. But they've held up. And I mean, I like this Kings team. I've been a fan of DeMar DeRozan his whole career. I've liked all these guys. I'm not the biggest Sabonis fan. I'll be completely frank with you. I think there's a lot of things Sabonis does that it kind of annoys me. I don't know. He's a good center. I just don't think he's a championship level starting center. But he's not like a bench center. Obviously, he's better than a bench center. It's kind of I have a weird thing with Domantas Sabonis. Remember when people were concerned about how the spacing would look for the Kings with the big three on the court? Or some have wondered whether this could be the season that in age 35 DeMar DeRozan showed regression. Lol. Okay, fair enough. Sacramento has 121 offense rating with DeRozan, De'Aaron Fox, and Sabonis on the floor, and that's phenomenal. That's really good. The defense has largely survived without any real fluke. So basically saying, like, the defenses look pretty good, and that's not just other teams shooting bad. Like, they're defending. The Kings continue to do a good job of limiting looks at the rim with their core unit, And a lot of that, yeah, they mentioned here Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis has been phenomenal, and I'm really, really glad he's kind of getting a lot of recognition now. He had a 33-point game the other night. He's breaking out. He's one of their better, probably their best perimeter defender. Yeah, I'm gonna say their best perimeter defender. He's been really, really good. And is this supposed to say Keegan Murray? Okay. But yeah, no, DeMar DeRozan's missed some games, and De'Aaron Fox has been phenomenal. He had 60, then he had 49. De'Aaron Fox is really showing he should be an all-star. We know that De'Aaron Fox is one of the better point guards in the league. He just had some injury troubles the past 2 seasons. He's been a really, really, really clutch players. Sabonis and Fox are both nearly over 67% of their twos during the big 3 stretches, while DeMar DeRozan is shooting 56.2%, which is that's kind of DeMar DeRozan's game. So it's kind of funny that it's smaller, it's less than theirs. But De'Aaron Fox has been on a complete burner. I like the Kings. I guess again, these teams like 4 and 5 probably won't be there if the teams above are healthy and have their minutes played. But hey, you got to give it to them. Number 3. Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I think a lot of this is I don't know who's up front. But I think if Chet doesn't get hurt, I think this is number 1. I really, really do. I think they have an MVP candidate. I think they have a DPOY candidate. And I think they have a guy that potentially could be an all-star this season. That's just on me. Big 3, Shea, Chet, and Jalen Williams. 156 minutes played, so they barely made it. 10.5 net rating. Enjoy the Thunder's Big 3 eligibility while it lasts. Chet Holmgren's hip injury will eventually deprive this trio of enough volume to appear in future editions. We aren't there yet, though. A somewhat wonky start to the season for Jalen Williams could have derailed Oklahoma City's seeming invincibility. Holmgren's own defensive gall and deeper offensive armory. Wow. Ensured it never did. J-Dub, of course, has since come around. He's clearing 20 points, 5 assists on roughly a 60 true shooting percentage. Benchmarks including being hit by mostly a who's who of all NBA. Okay, I don't know what the hell they're even saying here. But yeah, no, Jalen Williams has been a lot better. He's been playing center for them, and he's been really, really good defensively at center. It's like, 6'5", 6'6". He's a really, 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 really versatile guy. And I think as his stretch has been, they finally have gotten Isaiah Hartenstein back, so he doesn't have to play that full-time center role. The forwards in the West, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of injuries. There's a world, I think there's a real world where Jalen Williams finds himself being an all-star this season, which is really cool. Really, really cool for this team. Of course, Shea is one of the best players in the league. And shout out to Chet Holmgren. Please get healthy soon because you're a phenomenal defensive player when we know that. What else do they have here? His production has been featured. Another uptick in self-creation, particularly inside the arc and a body of work at the other end. Makes you wonder whether an entire all-defense team can be populated by strictly Thunder players. I guess they're looking at Shea's no slouch, but Case and Wallace is a phenomenal defender. Alex Caruso, we know that. Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet. Chet's not going to get it. Depends how long he's out for. They said at least 8 to 10 weeks to just reevaluate him. But this is a phenomenal defending team, and they're a really, really deep team too. So this Thunder team, they're gonna be on a run for the next 5 to 10 years, man. It's gonna be crazy if you're a fan of them. Number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Who's number 1? And I'm just not thinking of him right now. There's no way. There's no 3 in LA. I don't know who's number 1. I thought these guys were going to be number 1. Okay. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley. Minutes played, 218. Net rating, 4.4. Collective returns with Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley on the court can be somewhat hazy relative to Cleveland Cavaliers' overall dominance. That's only because some of their stagger combinations are just so good. So yeah. That's saying when the 3 of them were on the court, it might not look as well as seen here with the 4.4 net rating compared to like the 10 and 11 that we saw before. But not JB Biggerstaff. Who's their head coach now? I'm gonna completely blank on that. That's gonna piss me off, and I apologize to that. And because he used to be the head coach of the Nets, I think it was assistant coach with the Warriors. I know who he is, and I just can't remember his name for some reason. Kenny Atkinson. Wow, shout out Kenny Atkinson. They've been rolling really, really well between Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen getting a lot of minutes. And their minutes on the court together might not look quite as good, but it's because they're kind of getting moved around a lot. Slot in this trio ended low with number 2 Virgins on Impossible when looking at their individual performances. Mitchell is averaging the quietest 24-plus points on a better than 40% shooting from deep you'll ever see. And a lot of that is because Darius Garland is having a bounce back season after having a rough season last year compared to his standards. I mean, if you guys remember, in the offseason when they were going to give Donovan Mitchell that extension, Darius Garland's team was like, hey, we might want to be traded if you're going to give Donovan Mitchell that contract, because we weren't sure if Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell could play together. But I'm glad they hung it out, because right now, I think you're looking at your starting backcourt in the All-Star game. I really, really do. I know a lot of people are going to look at that game against the Celtics on national television, because the Cavaliers don't have a lot of national TV games. So he had a really, really bad game against the Celtics. People are going to look at that and be like, bro, why is he in the All-Star starter list? Well, no, he's not right now, but like he would be, I think, if it came out. He's been really, really good. People need to watch a lot more Cavaliers games. Evan Mobley's taken a step offensively this year too. Like, he's never going to be a crazy 20 plus point per game score is what I'm trying to say. Jesus. But he's got the ball on the floor a lot more. He's shooting like 2 threes a game it's been a couple days since I checked the stats. He's been really, really good. So it's just been a lot. This team's been playing really, really well. Donovan Mitchell hasn't had to be a superstar that he's needed to be in the past, like on the Utah Jazz teams, but he's been really, really good. Twice 24 plus points on better than 40% shooting from deep overseas. His ability to read the room and shapeshift his offensive role alongside Garland, in particular, is an all-time high. Yeah, he can be off the ball, he can have the ball, he can do a lot, catch and shoot, he can cut, be in the dunker spot. Evan Mobley's defensive transcendence remains intact, and he's inching closer to all-star on offense. Slightly extra three-point volume is going a long way, but his aggression and physicality when going downhill is the biggest difference. Yeah, he's getting the ball on the floor, like I said, a lot more. He's shooting a little bit more. Like I said, I think he's fully at 2 attempts a game now from three, which it's just, you got to be respectful. You got to have, because Jared Allen's not going to shoot threes either, so you can't have your front court just not shooting. And I think just him having the ability and the confidence to step out a couple times a game will make the defense at least respect that a little bit, which opens up the game for Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell down in the paint. Garland, meanwhile, is this team's MVP. He's averaging around 20 points and 7 assists while banging in about 40% of his threes. His own downhill attack is much improved, more versatile, more variable, more efficient, more devastating. He also ranks third in crunch time buckets, just in case you're into that sort of thing, which I think is the last 5 minutes of a game within a certain amount of points. It's clutch buckets, pretty much. Number up. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. I don't know why I just completely blanked. I guess I just in my head I'm like, oh, Kristaps is out. They're probably just going to consider them a duo. I'm so sorry, Celtics fans. That's really stupid. I completely forgot about the Celtics. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White. 248 minutes played, 15.5 net rating is ridiculous, bro. The only thing debatable about the Boston Celtics Big Three is the members who populated it, which is what I was thinking with Kristaps. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are non-negotiables. Kristaps Porzingis' injury makes the decision easier, turning this into a Drew Holiday or Derek White proposition. If I'm being honest, the answer doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, it could be Drew Holiday, it could be Derek White. They're going to be one of the best Big Threes, or maybe the best Big Three in the entire NBA. Boston would claim the top spot anyway, but White has separated himself enough to get the decided nod. Holiday will still handle tough individual defensive assignments. White is more integral to the offense. His scoring and outside volume have ticked up yet again, and he's no worse than Boston's second best passer. I mean, Jason Tatum is the primary ball handler on his team, and Jaylen Brown's really taken a stride, I think, in playmaking this year too. But this team is, they're so good. There's not really much I could say about the Boston Celtics if you watch them. I still think they're the best team in the league. I understand that right now the Cavaliers are the better record, and the Celtics did beat them. But I just think, I said that going into the season, I don't think the Cavaliers, like them beating Cavaliers, changed my mind on that. I've been saying the whole season up until now on the podcast that I think the Celtics are the best team in the league. Holiday, yeah, okay, I said that. Outstripping Cleveland's Big Three is a tougher call than net ratings indicate, but Tatum, passing, foul drawing. Brown, stronger, drawing. Tatum, passing, foul drawing, and Jaylen Brown, stronger, drawing way more fouls, have both leveled up areas of their own game. No small feat as entrenched All-NBA selections. Yeah, they're both All-NBA players. And Derek White was getting All-Star buzz last year. He might get it this year because the East guards are not great. Oh, they say it literally right here. I didn't see that. Do not be surprised if the Celtics wind up with the only team to have 3 All-Stars this season. I think it's going to be the Cavs too. But yeah. No, it's been really, really crazy there for the Boston Celtics. Derek White, like I said, was getting All-Star buzz last year. And I think with the East, with Tyrese Maxey being injured and getting back into the swing of things, Tyrese Halliburton not playing very, very well, I think your All-Star guards in the East could be Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo Ball, Jalen Brunson, Derek White could very, very well find his way into there. There's probably somebody I'm forgetting off the top of my head as I'm recording this right now. So if I am, let me know in the comment section below. Shout out my man Dan Favel, covers for the NBA for Bleacher Report. Follow him on Twitter. Shout out my man Dan. Go follow him on Twitter. Subscribe to the Hardwood Knocks podcast, whatever. You should subscribe to my podcast, Time Out with J&G. It's going to be up on the screen right now. Me and Levi every Wednesday. We love it. But that was an article reaction. Let me know what you guys think about this. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 more article reactions. I don't really know, but I want to do some different stuff this week instead of gaming. And this is not an ad for Sunday Ticket. Please get the heck out of here. I don't know what's happening. We can look at Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift when we get out of here. I don't know why is this up here? Could not tell you, man. Whatever. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. I appreciate you guys watching. Go down, like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and I cannot do that without you guys. And I will see you guys later. Peace.